a motion to accept the previous.
I make a motion that we accept the previous-
Seconded.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yep.
Okay, so the previous minutes have been accepted by a vote of 2-0. We're going to move to Ben, to the Health Department update.
All right,
Health
so-
Director update.
Sounds good. So we asked for Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters, you guys? Roasters at the end? Okay. To come in today because we had some repeat violations on some of their food inspections. And we're not asking the board today to make any motions or do anything that would, nothing to try to
We have
respond directly.
no desire to compromise your business.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay,
Yes.
just want you to know.
But what
that.
we do want to do is make sure we have a discussion about there being some challenges at Shelburne Falls Coffee Roasters and give them an opportunity as well to talk to us about what they're intending on doing in the future to make sure that those challenges are no longer present.
Excellent.
So I know I've had a conversation about Ange first to start off how how those inspections went. I want to give her an opportunity to explain to the board what she's seen, and then maybe we'll give Shelburne Falls a opportunity to explain to us their side of it, that type of thing, so you guys have a
Absolutely.
full picture there, all right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely, thank you for having me. So just thinking of the trajectory of the routine inspections, there have been a few items that would constitute a reinspection. So whether it be the assignment of a person in charge, observations due to safe food handling, like hot holding, storage, things like that, routine cleaning, so much so that would attract pests. So some of those items would constitute a reinspection, which we've done. So, during each inspection, I would always give the opportunity for you to correct any of these items. So I'm always happy to educate and provide support where I can. But when we come in and do the reinspection, we're just seeing the items that were previously noted repeated. So now, we're just hoping to get a plan of action as to how to reduce that.
So I know that the big thing is the similar violations that were found, and some of those, as Ange mentioned, there was some flies that have been there that have been an issue in the up to very recently, and then also just the cleanliness, I think, that caused the flies. And I saw that you guys had sent over some documentation showing how you're going to correct for that moving forward. You even had a very impressive inspection sheet that you provided to me that's just based off the same sheets that Ange and myself use from the state. So you guys really do want to dig in and make sure that you correct those issues moving forward, that we don't see those things anymore. So I saw them, but I just kind of want you guys to give us, and I've sent them to the board, I just want to make sure that you guys give some color to that, talk to us a little bit about that, what your plans are.
Yeah, well, definitely, we had a long-term manager who is no longer with us, left in about December, and we uncovered quite a few things that she had either not been sending us or not been compliant in or not been following, unfortunately. And so we were already kind of in a getting everything back to where it was supposed to be when the inspection happened. We've got a great new manager, but it was a good time. We've been there for a really long time. We've got a lot of people who've been with us for a long time. We trust them, and every once in a while, kind of, things will fall through. And obviously, this was one of those cases. So we went through. We have kind of a 5-tier plan that we submitted, just kind of showing the different levels, going from. We did a retraining with 100% of the staff, had everybody sign off. We have all their signatures on it, on all the different deep cleaning that we need to do, food safety that needs to be done. We had, obviously an additional training with the manager on that. We redid all of the daily training, the daily checklist, the weekly checklist. The weekly checklist used to be the manager would just keep them on site. Now they have to send them up to the regional manager every week to show that they actually completed them, that they're signed off on them. We have a professional cleaning service that comes out. We used to come once a month, and now they come twice a month to do all the extra deep cleaning. We sent that schedule in as well. And then we do have our own health inspection to go in, where somebody, either Cassidy, myself, or our other regional manager, Samantha Fury, to go in and do the health inspection that we designed that looks just like you guys, and to go over that to make sure that we're not just waiting for the health inspector to come in to find out, if there's a real problem. So those are the main core tenets of what we're doing. And then you know, like I said, we submitted all of that stuff to you, and we had the reinspection that went well when you came in before then, so we've corrected everything since, and hopefully we'll have a pretty clear plan going forward.
Cassidy, when you do those inspections, what's your target for how often you'll do your internal inspections?
We're going to be doing those twice a year.
Yep.
Okay. And when you do get them, I'm assuming you'll share, assuming they're not what the standard that you guys would like, I'm assuming you would share that with the owner so she's
Oh, yes.
aware and she can
Yeah.
respond if needed?
Yes.
Yep.
And we're doing them, I mean, you guys usually come in like a January, July cycle, and so we're doing, ours are scheduled at the store. We're doing it all, I mean, we're doing it all. The nice thing is, you know, anytime, we do have multiple locations, and we're able to roll this out, you know, it helps out everybody. And so there, we made sure theirs were scheduled for for April and October, so
Yep.
it'll be kind of on the quarterly.
Yeah, so we're getting
Okay.
So figure, you know, you guys will see us twice a year, we'll get a final one twice a year, and yeah, it gets escalated to me
Okay.
if anything like that happens.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, and as far as the cleanliness goes, you know, the checklists and everything, you said you have the manager sign off and then they send it to yourself as well. So you'll
Yes.
have a record of,
Oh, yeah.
if, for example, you go in and do an inspection and somebody signed off saying that it was really clean, and you go in and you say, you know, that doesn't look like that's a proper
Yeah.
checkbox.
Right.
You guys could potentially manage that internally to make sure that that manager is meeting the standards of ownership and leadership.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep. The plan is, which I believe is detailed in the deep cleaning training document
Yep.
that we submitted, that they keep one for themselves at the store in a file, they keep all their checklists in the store in a file for 6 months, and then also a copy goes to Cassidy.
Yep.
So and one of the concerns you had, Ange, though, in your inspections was somebody in charge, knowledgeable person in charge. Maybe you can speak a little bit to what you had seen previous, and then maybe you guys can talk about what you're doing to
Yep.
make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, so in previous inspections, there was a little bit of confusion, it seemed, as to who was the assigned person in charge. As we know, it is a responsibility during operating hours to have somebody that is in
Yep.
charge and knowledgeable in food safety, handling basically everything that you receive through ServSafe Allergen should be reiterated and trained with for that person. It's not expected that you're there every day. I understand
Yes.
things happen, you're not going to be
Yes.
there, but we just want to make sure that's aligned for
Yes.
those absences.
Yes, and definitely, that was pretty easy fix. First thing we did is we went through and we, which we didn't bring in, I'm happy to submit, but we went through and had everybody redo all of their own, we've always done food safety training, we have food safety binder, but we re-updated it, and then we also made a much more extensive quiz for the staff to take, so that everyone can feel really confident about, you know, all the key parts, and we just kind of pulled the best question, or like the most common questions from ServSafe and Allergen for 100% of the staff. And then part of the issue with, we have a manager on site every day from open to like 1 or 2, and then the afternoons at coffee shops are like no one's there, you know, like we get like 5 customers an hour, and it's mostly people coming in and pumping coffee, and then we have one person who's, you know, doing sandwiches. And so it's always just kind of been implied, like one person's on register with the customers, the other person's on sandwich, they're doing the sandwich duty, they're the ones who's handling the food, they're kind of in charge of food safety. But we definitely did not do a good job of saying explicitly to the employee, if someone says who's in charge of food safety, you are the person who says, I'm in charge of food safety. So what we've done now is put a note, which should be rolling out this week if it hasn't already rolled out, on the schedule for the sandwich person, whoever's on sandwich station, to say, hey, you're on sandwich, part of this job is being in charge of food
Excellent.
safety. And everybody is signed off when they get trained, and on that internal quiz that we have, hey, you've taken this, you've seen this, you're now able to be in charge of food safety, you have all this, you have the knowledge of the manager, if, you know, for when you're on the schedule for it, and now it's marked.
And before the board, I know you guys might have some questions, but Ange, did you have anything else you wanted to call out before they speak?
No, I think we provided a general oversight of our experience there, and it sounds like you're on the right track, so.
Great.
Looking
Yeah.
forward to it, yeah.
Board members, you have any questions?
No, I don't. I'm happy with what you submitted.
Great.
And, you know, I'm hopeful and confident that this will move forward according to plan.
Great.
So,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we'll be following up and
Great.
hoping everything, there'll
I
be
mean,
no problem.
yeah, we want your business there. We just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know, our job is to make sure
Yeah.
that it's safe for
Of
all of
course,
us who
yes.
go in there.
Yes, of course,
That's,
yes.
you know,
Totally understand.
And I think ultimately your goal also is to make sure your customers are happy and,
Oh, definitely.
and food
Yeah.
safety and everything.
Of course.
It's not so much down to whether you want to do it, it's more so how do you execute on it. And it sounds like you guys have a plan that hopefully you'll be able to execute on, and we won't have any other snafus.
Great.
Right.
All right, so if you guys are all set, then
Yeah,
thank
we're
you guys
set.
for coming
Okay,
in.
great.
Hey,
Thanks.
yeah.
Awesome,
Nice
awesome.
meeting you
Thanks, you
guys.
guys.
Good to meet you.
Yes,
Thank you.
absolutely. Thanks, you
Yeah.
guys. All right, see you later. Bye then.
All right, see you later.
They're heavy.
I provided them just in case we had any questions about inspections or anything. You can stay if you want, or you can hit the road. It's entirely up to you.
I think I will leave at this point, but I appreciate everyone's time, and it
Thank
was
you for
wonderful
coming.
seeing you.
Thanks.
Yes.
No, thanks for
Thank you.
coming.
Thanks,
Thank you,
George.
Ange.
And thank you
you.
for your work.
Of course, absolutely.
All right.
Next item, unless, Ben, you have anything further you want
Budget?
to add?
Well, the next item is the budget, but I will give an update after that. Does that sound reasonable? Okay.
Yeah.
And the budget, I know Peter and I spoke about it a bit. I'll give a very brief overview, and then Peter can talk about his portion of it too. I just want to say, again, like I said last time when it comes to the budget, I haven't yet met with the finance committee. So I can't be sure of 100% that this is where we're going to land, all right? But absent the finance committee, what we believe the cuts will be this time will amount to somewhere around $4,500 cut, all right? What I tried to do is make it so that it's cut in a way that has the least impact on the people of Hadley, on various, whether it be food safety or other, of our responsibilities. I will say there will be, I'll be more involved in certain things. One of the things I want to do coming up, which actually I was going to bring up when it was when I was talking about what things we're working on right now, is cross-training for animal inspector. I want to make sure that I'm fully ready to step into that place if and when it is no longer able to be a paid position. Other things that I'm going to try to put more of a foot into is I'm already taking over Title V as far as the reviews process and everything like that, but I want to be more on the ground as well.
Good.
And that's something I've wanted to do anyways, but that's likely something that I'm going to need to do at this
Right.
point. So again, overview, the big picture is about $4,500 cut. And then we'll see where we go from there. Obviously, there is a concern, at least of mine, for next fiscal year, because if there is no additional funds coming in and prices continue to go up like they normally do, then we'll have to find that difference somewhere again next year. So that obviously is a concern of the board, or excuse me, of myself, that the board should be aware of.
Right.
But like I said, I'm trying to plan so that if there is additional cuts at some point, that Hadley is served to the best of our ability with the funds that we have. Let's put it
Where
that way.
is the $4,500 coming from?
So like I said, there's going to be some hours reduced, but so for example, Peter had a little bit cut, but this is not enough for that he will hopefully notice, because usually we don't use every little bit of the amount that he has.
I'll be in the bread line.
What's that? Oh, you'll be on, yeah.
So a little bit there, although we're also sharing Peter with with Peter's consent, sharing Peter with other departments in the
Right.
town, right? So even though he might some of his hours still land with us, they are not really going to be spent in the health department.
Okay.
They'll be spent other places.
Yeah.
So things like that. There are other, like for example, Marcy had a little bit of a cut as well.
Oh, okay,
But
I didn't,
again,
well, that's why I didn't know. That's
So
why, yeah.
from what to what then?
so it's about $1,000 out of her budget.
So does that mean she won't be here
No.
as many hours, or?
She had already reduced her hours a while ago.
Right.
She's every other week now. And if
Okay.
you recall correctly, we were doing every week at some
Right.
point. So I don't think it will hit her in a way that she has to be concerned about.
Okay.
Again, I tried to cut in areas. I was given the amounts that I need to get to, and I tried to cut in the areas that
Thank you, Ben.
that were going to have least impact,
Right.
both to the people. Obviously, Peter and I had a conversation, and as far as Marcy, I didn't have to have a conversation because she's not filling all of the
Right.
time that I'm
Right.
cutting anyways.
Right.
So,
Good.
so
Okay.
anyways, and that's where we are today. That's the other thing is, once I know for sure that certain numbers are what they are, then I will be more likely to, for example, I'd probably talk to Marcy and say, hey, now I know it's going to be this.
Right.
But it's not going to affect you based on how you work right now. You know, that type of thing.
Okay.
So that's the idea. That's where we're landing as far as
You
numbers.
mentioned animal inspection, because you
Yep.
were going to do some cross-training. But there are no cuts in that. at
I'm
this
not
point.
cutting it yet, in part because I want to make sure that I'm cross-trained on it, and I don't want to have the animal inspector train me for free. So I want to make sure that I get all that training in
Right.
while that person is paid. And then if it so happens that we no longer can afford an animal inspector, but we still have animal inspector responsibilities, which we do have,
Right.
that I can actually respond in a competent way and not just,
Okay, good.
you know, I've never done this before. So
You'll wing it.
I'll wing it. Yeah, I don't want to wing it. I want to make sure I'm trained. So I'm trying to make sure that happens this year, so that if that cutting there has to happen in the future, it's not as painful as it would be to the people of Hadley. So that's the idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ben.
Last thing, so that's the budget. The last things I just wanted to bring up for my portion is trying to reiterate to the board things that I want to bring to the board for consideration this year for a quasi-legislative approach from you guys. So actually passing something. And those things, none of it is new. I've mentioned it before, but we haven't advanced the ball far down the field. I'm letting you know that hopefully the second half of this year, we will advance some of these balls further down the field. One is to revisit our tobacco control regulations. There has been some changes since 2016, I believe, was the last time it was visited here in Hadley. Things have changed since 2016, so we probably need to take a look at them again.
Good.
The next thing that I will ask the board to take a look at is synthetic drugs, regulation of synthetic drugs. I've mentioned it to you before. These are drugs that are sold commonly at convenience stores that are technically legal, but they do create public health concerns in their use. And so obviously I'm not going to go into the details of all of that right now. I'm not proposing anything right now.
Okay.
But what I am saying is it's something that I'm looking at that I'll want the board to consider at some point in the near future. We just spoke about the budget. I've mentioned to the board previously that we have passed late fees for food establishments. I do want to have that in place for next next calendar year, I should say. Late fees for other permitted
Absolutely.
locations or activities, I should say.
Yeah.
And so just the same way we would for the food establishments. In part, it'll make it fair, but also in part, those were the only ones that we had actually late this year that I had been chasing around. And the food establishments have gotten very good at getting their permits in.
Right.
So I want to make sure that we incentivize the good behavior of getting it in on time.
Yep.
And then lastly, this is something that would be new, but something I've spoken to our regional inspector, that Ange was in here today, spoken to her about it, which is that food establishments that require multiple re-inspections, that comes with a fee.
Yes.
So
I thought we had.
we do not have that in place right now.
Oh, I thought we did
we
too. I thought we
did.
had
I
like a
remember we had
tier
a whole
system.
discussion.
We do have a tiered system for inspections, but we don't have a reinspection. So
Well, let me say, at one point, we did, and we approved it, but let us know.
I've looked for, here's what I'll say on that. If you have, I will look for it again, but what I was looking for was there has to be something that has been passed by the board that is specific that
Right.
I can do,
Yeah.
fines or something like that.
I thought-
couldn't find it, but if we have, I'll look for it again.
I would ask Dragon.
Dragon, okay, I will ask Dragon.
And if there isn't, then
Then we'll
write
put that
write
on.
it up,
Yeah,
because
we'll-
we definitely.
And just to give you a little bit of color on that, I wouldn't be charging a fee for obviously the first inspection, but not even at the second inspection,
Right.
because the second inspection is just checking that they did what the first inspection
Right,
ordered.
Right,
So
that
there's-
was all part of what we had talked
Yeah,
about.
we had a whole
yeah.
conversation
Okay,
about
but we'll look into
Yeah.
that, yeah.
The
so-
fee would be if we have to go for a second re-inspection,
Yeah.
because then that means that you didn't do what was already asked previously.
Yeah,
So,
it's all coming back to me,
Yeah.
but it doesn't matter if we can't find it we'll
Yep.
set something in place.
So, sounds good. So
We
I
should-
will
we should-
work with
We
our.
should absolutely have.
I'll look for it, and if I don't find it,
Yeah, just go ahead.
then I will. Obviously, the last thing I'll say about these items that I'm going to ask you guys to consider, it's not just that I write something up and then hand it to you. The way that I'd want to do it is write something up, make sure that it is, it's mostly standardized to other communities in our area, and then bring it through our legal team to make sure that it's written out right. There's no, I write it a certain way, it's not really legally clear, and so we get into
Right.
ourselves into some trouble. Want to make sure it's thoroughly vetted so that when you
Yeah.
consider it, what you pass is going to be clear and the public understands.
workable.
And
Yeah.
workable. So that's what I would be doing
Good.
with those. I just wanted to let you guys know that those are things that I will be bringing to you over the course of this calendar
Good.
year. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Good.
Okay, permits. As Ben mentioned, all the food establishments have been permitted. We had a handful that did actually pay a late fee, but again, nobody questioned it. Everybody understood why they were being charged. And also, our late fee is consistent with other late fees that are charged by the town for licensing, permitting, whatever. So if somebody's late by X number of days or the deadline, whatever the case may be, our penalty fee is consistent with the rest of the town government. So I think it was anticipated and somewhat expected. In terms of new permit activity on the horizon, we do have 3 off-site social events happening between March, April, and May that are on the books or appear to be on the books. We have an event at the mall on March 26th. It's Margarita Madness. It's a charitable event. We did all the permitting last year for the event. It was fairly successful. They've given us notice that, again, it's taking place again this year. So what will happen is that the person that's coordinating that entire event is working with us
Good.
in terms of getting the vendors to send in their applications. And again, we've seen 3 applications so far. I think a couple of them are, repeats in terms of participating last year. So it's people that, for the most part, we know they're either from Hadley or Amherst or in the surrounding community. So it's not people are coming in from Boston or anything like that. People that we don't know. So that'll give us some, if you will, incremental revenue with the application fees. There is an event, I forget the date, I want to say May 9th, I believe it is, at the Young Men's Club. Again, this is an event that took place last year. It's a charitable event, something for Brittany, I forget what
Bands for Brittany.
Bikes?
Bands for Brittany.
Bands for Brittany, that's what it is. And again, so we just saw the announcement today, and so there'll be food trucks and whatnot. Again, this is at the Young Men's Club. And then thirdly, just saw an announcement today also that there will be an asparagus festival. It's slated to be at the North Hadley Sugar Shack. Obviously, it's going to be somewhat condensed because they don't have the space that the town common has, and so forth. But we were just given a heads up on that today as well. So all that's going to keep us busy in terms of permitting and inspections. Food trucks and so forth. So it's all good. Hadley is still alive and well, and things are happening. So that's good.
Did you say there was going to be an event in April?
I haven't seen one yet.
Okay.
We have 2 in May.
2 in May.
Yeah, 2 in May and 1 in March.
So one of them will be the Asparagus Festival? Are they going to be moving that forward?
Yeah, that's May
So it's not going to be
30th. It's May 30th.
hot summertime.
Yeah, well, it's usually the first Saturday of June. So it got moved up earlier, if you will, by a week. But again, NEPM is not sponsoring
not doing it.
But it'll still be billed as a charitable event. I'm not really sure who the benefactors will be, but again, we just saw it by way of email today, so more to come.
good, good.
So, and it'll be publicized on the Facebooks and in the newspaper and whatnot, I would assume.
So I have just another question. I remember we had talked about, sometimes the cost involved to the town regarding hiring police and, extra police and ambulance, getting security and whatever. How is that covered these days? Like,
I couldn't tell you, I don't know. I know that when the event was on the Common, DPW did have a fee in terms of prepping the Common, if you will, and then some of the cleanup thereafter. I think last year some of that was pivoted or transitioned over to NEPM. It was going to be their financial responsibility. There's also a fee that almost like a security charge or security fee, if you will, in terms of if there's damage to the Common and so forth. Obviously, if this is moved to
Yeah, it's on
North
private
Hampshire,
property.
yeah, I
that-
wasn't
that's
actually
not gonna
thinking
happen.
about that. I was
Yeah.
thinking about,
You're thinking police and fire.
yeah, there was another event that we had on East Street. And,
Yeah.
and there were a lot of overtime involved, and I don't think I wasn't sure who paid for it at that point. It seemed like it didn't come out of the establishment that was hosting the event, but that the overtime was something that.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I
All right.
really don't. Good question. I mean, I can find out.
Not under
Let you know.
purview of the Board of Health,
Yeah.
but important.
Yeah, but I can find out. I can ask.
Just curious.
Ask the chief. Who's responsible for that. Other than that, we do have a new restaurant that is coming into town. Posadas.
La Posada, I think, is the name.
They're taking the space where Mi Tierra was.
Who is coming?
A restaurant called Posadas. I think it's Posado.
ADA, I think.
ADA, is that what it is?
Not a chain, is it a chain?
No.
Well, there is-
It's a local owner.
It is locally owned, but they own I think 4 other locations.
Because the name sounds familiar somehow.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
they have a location in Greenfield. They had one in Hatfield, where Fishtails used to be. They're moving that operation to Hadley. Obviously, because Route 9 is a lot
Good.
more visibility, a lot more traffic. So the owner's been working with Ben in terms of design on the inside
Yep.
and where everything's going to go and so forth. But they were proactive in terms of applying for a food permit, and they used PermitLink successfully, and they paid online and everything. So we're really. Unless something happened this afternoon that I'm unaware of.
No.
They're still in a review stage.
Right.
They're in a review, but they did give me a lot. It's well organized. So I might have some questions that they have to
Right.
clear up. Usually there is that. But I don't expect there'll be a big problem
It's
or
like they
anything.
know what they're doing.
It seems like they know what they're doing, yeah. And their goal is to be open before the end of the month. So.
Oh, wow.
So they've been working with us for a little while now.
Oh. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
not like they just showed up yesterday. They've
Yeah.
been working with us.
Very good.
So I'm hoping that we can facilitate that with them
Let us
to
know how
help
the
them.
food is.
Yep, yeah. I'm hoping that we can assist them in their goal to try to get open
Yeah.
By the end of the month,
I
and
want a full
I don't see
menu
any.
review.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. So,
So, with regards to the budget, not to be redundant in terms of what Ben's already shared with you. Again, the next steps really with the budget at this point is that, again, the budget that's been submitted to the select board and the finance committee is really a proposal. So what's happening now is that really the finance committee is going through, if you will, a vetting process and really spending a lot of time crunching the numbers. And as Ben mentioned, they're trying to meet with each department head over the next
Right.
3 weeks or so to drill down in terms of where the cuts are going to be, what kind of pain is going to be incurred by each department in terms of cuts and so forth. And secondly, there's also still discussion but no decisions with regards to the potential of another override ballot. But again, that hasn't been decided, it's still being discussed. And the Finance Committee and Select Board are seemingly meeting on a weekly basis now, just trying to keep pace because as you guys probably aware, May 7th is when the town meeting
Right.
is. So they're trying to get everything done before a town meeting. So, so stay tuned, more to come. So,
Thank you, Peter.
Thank you.
Anybody,
We have the
any
town nurse
business?
update, and that she
Oh,
let us
right.
know that her next topic will be how to deal with fear and worry. And that will, I think that already happened, or, no, it's going to happen on
March
March 24th.
Okay. Any other business that could not be reasonably anticipated?
No, but I just want to add that I did put on the website the new fees for whatever we were in communication about. There was something recently that you wanted me to update.
I remember sending you an email earlier this week.
Yeah, anyway, that was done, and
can't
it's up
remember
on
what
the,
it is. Okay.
on the
Thank you,
website.
Margaret.
Good,
So,
excellent,
Thank you.
excellent.
so we're pretty well
Thank
set
you
with
for
all that.
managing them.
Yeah, sure.
It's a big deal. Thank you.
Yep. It's great.
Anything else?
Not for me.
Okay, well,
Next
motion to
meeting.
end the meeting?
Well, the next meeting, I think
All right,
we're
let's set our
looking
next
at
meeting.
April 9th,
Let me, check the
6:30
schedule real
PM.
quick
That's
for
would
me.
be the second Thursday if people are available.
Give me 1 minute, because I recall there might be an issue with this one. Give me a second.
Okay.
Oh, no, let me see, that one's not.
All right, April 9th, 6:30 will be our next meeting.
Good.
And a motion to
I make a motion that we adjourn and.
adjourn,
at s-
seconded?
Okay,
Okay.
passed.
Thank you.
Thank you.